What's up, Stokers? Before we begin this podcast, I want to let you know that we are on tour. We got dates coming up. We're going to be in Honolulu this Thursday. So if you're in the Hawaii area, if you're on Oahu, get to the show. It's going to be sick. Then we got Seattle coming up. We've got Nashville, Chicago, New York, Boston, Atlanta. I already said Seattle. And then what else? Denver and Salt Lake City. Ooh. So get your tickets right now at chadandjt.com. We also have a show out on Netflix, Chad and JT Go Deep. If you listen to the podcast but you haven't watched the show, what are you doing? Put on Netflix and watch the show, and then put the podcast back on, because you're going to love it. We're also brought to you by the legends at Helix Sleep. Guys, how long have you had your mattress, and how has your sleep improved? Helix is a premium mattress brand that takes tailored mattresses based on your unique sleep preferences and gives them to you. 14 unique mattresses. Luxury, big and tall, kids, I don't know, whatever you prefer. So Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/go deep with Helix. Better sleep starts now. We're also brought to you by the legends at Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims puke and looking after our hogs, for making sure their dinks are looking fresh and clean, because smooth sack summer is slowly coming to an end, fellas. And if you haven't been scaping for the summer sun, it's not too late to sweep your sack off of those pesky pubes. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code GODEEP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code GODEEP at manscaped.com. Keep things smooth and fresh as we say sayonara to smooth ball summer and enter fresh ball fall. All right, let's start the show.
What's with deep? Going deep. Chad and JT.
Are you really sounding your assholes, or is this just a thing?
Are we recording?
Yeah, we're really sunning our assholes.
Oh, have we started?
Yeah, we're started.
shit,
And we're
sorry.
really sunning our assholes.
Seriously, how often are you sunning your assholes?
How many hours are in a day?
Yeah, I mean,
more often
Do you?
than not.
What do you get from sunning your asshole?
What do you not get?
You get a boost in tea. You get
Do you
improved
really?
energy,
Do you really get a boost? in
mental
tea?
clarity.
Immunity?
Chad reads better.
Oh, yeah, I told Rich Eisen I couldn't read until I started sunning my ass.
So we're here. We're here
It's
in the
true.
podcast. So where do you do it here at home? Do you sun your asshole here?
Yeah, I go out into the front where the neighbors are, and I just do it on my street. No one's stopped me yet. No one's bothered me. I'm more modest about it. I just tug my shorts past my butt a little bit, and sometimes I even keep a shirt on. So it's a small frame.
Right.
I have a
And
backyard.
It's only 10 minutes. Yeah, he's got a backyard.
Yeah, but
So you
I
do
do
it
share
backyard?
it with people. So
What do you mean? You share the backyard with other people?
It's a duplex, yeah.
So has anyone ever discovered you sunning your asshole?
Mm-hmm.
And what do they say? They say that's unusual, right?
They're
I
like-
mean, I would think people, if
Yeah.
they don't follow you and seen the show.
Yeah, well, no, actually, no, my neighbor came out and he's like, so that really works, huh? And I was like, yeah, brother, come on down and spread them.
And his neighbor's kind of a surly guy. Like,
Yeah.
he's real tough to talk to. I've tried
Yeah.
to make inroads there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if he does start sunning his butt, he'll be more extroverted. So,
Yeah.
because it kind of, whatever you're not doing, whatever part of you you're resisting, it kind of opens you up to that.
Yeah.
Wow, so it's like a panacea, basically.
Yeah. And, I think my neighbor, we were kind of, because I got the garage, I think we were kind of at odds a little bit.
Right.
And then when he saw that was like the longest interaction we had when he saw me doing that. And we kind of, I was holding my ankles chatting with him. And, he's like, that's amazing. I was like, yeah, it's great. And I was like, this is a really good conversation. I was like, you should try it sometime. I think he thought I was stiff because we're both kind of quiet. But
Right.
then when he saw me just, saying what up to Apollo like that, I think he,
Right. That's awesome.
yeah.
I don't, I don't want to bury the lead, but I loved your show.
Oh, thanks,
you.
Brad.
I
Thanks.
really
It means
don't.
a lot.
I just found it endlessly amusing and insightful, and in the end, I found myself to be, touched by it. I did. I felt like an emotional thing that I was fully unexpected, to have that happen at the end of it. And I just thought it was put together really well, and I don't know. I
Thank
just
you.
wanted you guys to know I think you did a fantastic job, and I hope everyone gets a chance to see it because it's just fantastic.
Oh, thanks,
I
Brad.
appreciate that.
It's true.
Thank
Yeah.
It's true.
Means a lot. You're a Hollywood dad,
Oh,
so
please.
that's,
You are. With all the responsibilities that come with that.
I'm up for them all. Don't you worry. You know that. But I'm curious what has happened since the show for you guys. Like, have things changed?
Yeah, they have. It's like open doors, and we've gotten like really nice emails from like directors and like producers that we admire, and the people that we're already kind of in cahoots with seem to be like really excited about it, and then like friends and family are over the moon, and then you get people reach out to you and stuff. Yeah, it's been really, really nice.
That's so awesome. Do you find yourself getting recognized more? I mean, Netflix is a big platform here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell if it's from our social media or Netflix stuff,
Right.
or it's like new people. Then again, I haven't really gone out that much, except for like we went to Santa Barbara last weekend. But I haven't really been.
We got recognized by those firefighters.
Firefighters, that was cool.
What are you talking about?
Dude, I was walking down the street, and then these firefighters were like, "What up, dude? Hey, man, we just talked to Chad." And I was like, "Cool." And they were working out. They were pushing a like one of those workout sleds up a hill.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Do this, dude." And I was super hungover, and I was like, "Nah." And then my girlfriend was like, "You should do it." I was like, "All right, fuck it." And then I just drove it up the hill.
And how was that?
It was fun. It was really fun. And I did it in the time that was that they had allotted for me, so that was good. And then but that was really cool, especially because it was firefighter. You know what's nice too? Like my girlfriend pointed this out, is that like when people meet us who are fans of ours, they don't really go like, "Oh my God, are you the guy?" They just go, "Hey, what up, dude? Good to see you, man." It's like,
right. They think they already know you
And they-
because, but that's true. Though.
They
That's
kinda
what's
do.
So that's what I love about the show is that you really do kind of get a sense of who you are and what
Yeah.
you're about. And I think that that's what, it kind of cuts through and you have an emotional connection because it feels authentic. It is authentic.
Yeah, and I feel it. It's really nice. You feel like you just got more buddies. But yeah, it's been great. It's been a great. But dude, to pivot to you.
Wait, I have one more thing about you.
Yeah,
and then
go,
we can
go.
pivot to me. I'm wondering if doing the show, God, I hope if this is bad, cut this out because I don't want it. But are other people starting to go in front of city councils and asking questions? Like, are there imposters out there? Chad and JT imposters?
Well, there's one guy who,
Made a bunch of hay on like Barstool, right?
yeah. It's tough to say if they're impossible, because
I can't call them imposter. People did it
yeah,
before us.
Yeah, people go to city council, but
Not in the way that you guys did it.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like Gerard Carmichael promoted his special that way for Love at the Store like
Oh, he
10
did?
years ago. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
So
there's Netflix posted one of our council videos on their Instagram yesterday, and one comment was about the other guy who had something come out like a few weeks ago. I think his name is like Alex Stein or something. The guy,
Okay.
"You aren't Alex Stein though," which I thought was
Right.
funny.
he did a good job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey, as
yeah.
long as they're funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think, no one can, if as much as you can call it a medium,
Right.
I don't think anyone has ownership
Okay,
over it.
that's all. I
Yeah.
just wanted to know.
And honestly, dude, if people could see the real psychos who go into city council
Right.
meetings, who do speeches like that, not for sharing it, but just for love of the game and hatred of the government, those are the real stars. Like,
Yeah.
we saw a dude in Newport Beach one time. Do you remember that guy who clearly had COVID?
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was like coughing and sweating. And then he went
Yeah.
up there and he was like, I forget what the overall cause was, but basically he was like, "We need to go back to hand combat.
Yeah.
700 years ago, you settled a fight 3 ways: on horseback, by sword, or with knees." And we were like, "What is this dude talking about?" And he
You
was
do
a
it
regular.
with a blade.
Yeah, you do it with a blade. That's right. And I
Uh,
think he was tired of the cops, and he said we should go back to like a blade society.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there's a lot of really good artists out there who just haven't gotten their day in the sun yet.
Right.
But Brad, to you,
Yes.
my friend,
Yes, sir.
you've been big in the trades lately in the Hollywood newspapers because you have a deal with the cause celeb of the moment, Sydney Sweeney.
Well, yes. I don't even know how to. It's cause celeb. I guess.
Is that the right phrase?
I'm not
I'm
sure
gonna
if
Google
it's
it
right
right
phrase.
now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I don't
Google
know
it
if that
now.
is.
I took a swing.
But she's how about the celeb?
Well, listen, she certainly is getting a lot of press.
Oh yeah,
now.
I said that means it's kind of a negative thing. That means she's arousing widespread
Yeah.
controversy.
No, that's not Sydney.
No. She is the celeb.
You know, it's interesting because I met her we were casting a movie and ultimately, you know, it didn't work out for her in the role, not because of anything she did. It was our thing. And but I was so impressed with her in the way that she views what she does and how she's expansive in terms of the material that she likes. And I like the way she's looking at it as a producer, which I don't find very often. And Sydney, you know, she's young, and she's young in the business. Well, she's been in the business since she was 15. So she's been in the business, I think, around 10 years. But I don't have anyone who has consistently brought me better material than Sydney Sweeney. I mean, she
That's
is
awesome.
calling me with ideas. She has sent me scripts. She sent me one script that I loved that I wasn't able to get on. And this idea that we sold to Sony last week was something where she just called me. She goes, I found a book and it's a great idea and I'd love to produce it with you. She and her producing partner, Johnny, you know, that doesn't often happen. Often agents will send me something, a script or an idea, but it's not often that an actor will come to you with an idea and also think about it as a producer at the same time as they're thinking of it as an actor. And she does that. So I'm on the lookout for more stuff to do with her because I just find her super inspiring. She has really good taste and she reads quickly.
So she's bringing you material that she's found, or is she writing material as well?
If she's writing, she hasn't brought me anything that she's written, but she's a very, very avid reader. She's very I'm sure she's got a huge IQ. I mean, she reads constantly and is sending out ideas. And I get really excited because she brings me ideas. And then I go out to lunch with Neil Moritz, who's the biggest producer in Hollywood. And Neil says to me, hey, Sydney Sweeney called me with something today. And I'm like, why is she calling you? She should be calling me. I mean, what's the problem? You know, and Sydney's smart. If something's not for me, she knows the other producers that it's for. And she's always kind of looking for a way to get stuff done. She's just super impressive.
Nice. I want to ask you, is there actors who read slow?
Yes. Yes.
So,
well, listen.
Are there actors who can't read?
That I don't know, but you have to look at it this way. When I send an actor a script, I'm only thinking about the script, but there are 500 of me out there who are sending that same actor a different script that they're hoping that they're going to read in a weekend. So there are some actors, you're going to ask me who, and I don't want to get into it because it's not that important, but there are actors now who I've been waiting for 8 weeks to take a look at a piece of material.
Right. That's got to be frustrating.
It is.
And then I was going to ask, because she got in the business at 15, it does seem like most of the best actors start when they're in like their teen years. And like in stand-up, a lot of the best stand-ups, like Chappelle started when he was like, I think like 15 or something. Louis started when he was like 18. Like a lot of the best people seem to get to it really early. Do you think like, I know there's a lot of downfalls to the business, but it seems like the experience is worth it. Like the sooner you get to it, the quicker you learn it.
Well, it's different, listen, the entertainment business has its own language, its own timing, things happen differently in it. And if you get accustomed to those rhythms early on, you can be more effective in it as you go. It's a hard thing to learn, in terms of reading material and speaking to producers and talking to directors and talking to other actors. And so if you get into it as a kid and you're on a set, that becomes very normal. Whereas, if you get into it later, that's a hard thing to kind of acclimate to. I mean, to have 100 people just looking at you, that to most people, that would be a terrifying, terrifying thing. But if you've been doing it for a long time, you understand what that is. And I think that institutional knowledge can make a big difference in someone's career.
Yeah, it's like Steph Curry in basketball growing up in locker rooms.
That's right. That's exactly right.
He knew how to handle himself in there.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's one thing too that you learn going along is, and then when you hear about people like Sydney Sweeney or like Tom Cruise and stuff, is because there's this idea, especially I think when you are outside of the business or when you're getting into it, you're like, especially when we were doing like stand up or something, you're like, oh, I just need to get a manager, then I'm set.
Right.
You know, it's these incremental things where you're like, I need to get a TV show, then I'm set. But you realize as you go along that the work stays constant and even increases as you go along, and you need to keep up with that or step up even more as you go along. You can't, I really don't feel like there's an instance where people are sort of like, oh, I made it, and then they're sort of picking, and you know what I mean?
I think it's a lot like that analogy where you put a frog in water and you slowly start raising the temperature, and the frog never jumps out because it doesn't feel the change, right?
Right.
So I think a lot of people just, you're doing this a long time, and there's no barometer by which you determine I've gone from A to B or B to C or C to D, or just kind of struggling all day long and hoping that something good happens, right? I mean,
Yeah, hedonic
there-
tremor. You just adjust to your new reality
That's-
pretty quick.
But I still go in and I there are days that I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, and more than not knowing what I'm doing, I wonder how I've been doing this for 20 years if I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Because the rules are always changing, and what worked last time doesn't necessarily work this time, and and so
Yeah, like imposter syndrome. Which I
Yeah,
wonder if
that happens.
like world leaders get that. Like, do you think Putin ever has days where he's like, wait, what's going on here? Like, I'm not really feeling it today. I don't really feel like I got a
I don't think
grip on
he
this.
does. I think there has to be a level of self-awareness to have that thought also.
How blessed are those guys?
well, they just are just going.
Yeah, I just watched a doc on Bolsonaro, the guy who runs Brazil. Have you seen that nutcase?
Mm-mm.
He's a wild man.
Well, no, I don't know anything about him.
Well, he came from like a rough and tumble kind of province, and he was a kind of like a Trump guy who like was calling out PC culture and just like talking shit to women on camera and calling like other government officials pussies. And there was this huge scandal in Brazil that wiped out like half the political class. So there was this huge opportunity for him to rise. And then the guy he was running against was super popular, but then he went down in the scandal. And so by a lot of luck, and then also his own like lack of fear and self-awareness and just driven attitude, he became president. And now he runs the shit over there. But I don't think he ever has a day where he's like, I probably shouldn't be doing any of this. I think he's like, yeah, right on. What's next?
Do you think the people are happy with him?
Yeah, I think they're like emotionally charged by him. I think he
Right.
gives them a fighting spirit that a lot of politicians are incapable of. But I don't think he's a good person or good for the overall planet. He's the one who's chopping down the Amazon.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he loves it.
Oh, that's right.
But he sells it like where he's like
Loves it.
he loves it. He's like I'm making more money for the indigenous people.
Yeah.
So I mean, he has a spin on it. It's not like he just is like, no, I just love burning trees. He's like, it's good. We're giving economic growth to people who need it.
Yeah,
And-
maybe that's not such a great thing, but
His
I'm not
campaign posters, just
Right,
burning rainforests.
Kinda
It's
crazy.
amazing.
Isn't this awesome?
kind of crazy. Yeah.
But that's interesting that you still get like that feeling where you're like, what do I do?
Well, like, yes, but then there are other days, like right now we're putting together a movie that I hope will start shooting in I guess we're supposed to start October 10th or 11th, and we're having some budget challenges. And my son Cameron was in the office, and he goes, "Aren't you freaked out? You're whatever $1 million over budget." And I said, No. This is how it always goes. There's always this day when you're making a movie where you're so far over budget that the people who are paying for it tell you that if you don't cut the budget down, the movie's not going to happen, right? There's always that day. But I've been through that day so many times that I don't panic. Whereas as a young man, I remember where I just couldn't. I would panic in that situation.
Can I ask where that extra milli came from?
You're not the first person to ask me that. The financier wanted to know that too today. It's not as simple as just saying it came from this, right?
Right.
We hired an actor who was a little bit more expensive than we wanted him to be. So that there's that, right? And then we're shooting this movie in Colorado, and the locations are further out than we thought they were going to be. So we have to house everyone, which we didn't expect would happen. Bond fees and financing fees are high, and we didn't expect them to be that high. And then there's a sequence in this movie. There's an action sequence that is really really cool. And it's something I've never seen before. But the reason I think you've never seen it before is it's really expensive to execute. And so, and the question that was asked today by the financier, who I absolutely love this financier. This company is really thoughtful and they're fantastic. I hope to do a lot of movies with them, but they want, the first thing that would happen at a studio is they might say, we're going to cut that action scene in half. Financier, this guy said, we got to keep that scene. We got to figure out how to preserve that scene. I mean, and
is the financier the one who's actually providing the money or the one who's recruiting other people to provide the money?
In this case, the financier is the one who's providing the money.
Wow. So he's down.
He's down.
What a legend.
He's a legend.
What can I ask what he does?
He finances movies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in like a Wolf of Wall Street situation where it's like financed by an international arms dealer?
No, I didn't know. No, but, and I hate to drop a name here, but I have had conversations with Jordan Belford, and I find him to be incredible.
Really? Yeah, he's a good, he can talk that shit.
Amazing and smart and funny and has the greatest stories you just want to sit there and listen to him forever.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Do you, when you walk on set, are you still sort of taken aback by how big everything is?
I cannot ever lose that feeling.
It's crazy.
I'm glad I don't lose it. Because it kind of doesn't make sense that all those people, how it's such an amazing thing when 100 people are pointing in the exact same direction. Everybody wants the same thing. It's not always like that, but frequently it is like that. And that's what you want, where everyone kind of has the same goal. And I see a big part of my job, once the thing is mounted, is just to keep everyone leaning in the same direction.
It's amazing to see, and it's every time you go to a set, it's like its own little city.
Yeah,
and you're like you look at it and you're like, this is insane. It's so big, and there's so many people, and there's so many moving parts. And then they're like, all right, we're gonna company move or whatever. They move to a different, and they just set up the whole thing. And next day, it's like completely new location. It's really, and just to be like a small part of that, and just to witness it is really kind of. It blows my mind to every time.
And it's super intense because you're doing that for, if you're lucky, 8 weeks. Yeah. Right. And then everyone goes their own way. And you have this incredibly intense emotional experience with these people. Yeah. Who you think about all the time, and everyone's pulling together, and then they go away and everyone's on to something else.
It's so true. And I always heard that in like Stern interviews, when Stern would always ask people, he'd be like, no, are you friends with like the cast? Like, do you guys hang out and stuff? And rarely would people be like, oh yeah, we hang out all the time. It's like,
well, it's because everyone's getting pulled in different directions. It's hard.
Yeah.
And it's true too about these like villages that get built like through film. The LACMA had a exhibit for Fritz Lang. The guy did that old German movie Metropolis. And they went in there and like, he was so ahead of his time with what he was doing. I've never seen the movie, by the way, but he, like, back then, if you were a filmmaker, you had to be like an engineer too. Like they had like trebuchets in the shot. Yeah. They had to like literally build those. So they had like schematics on how to build a trebuchet. Like you get all these craftspeople onto a set, and the actors are kind of the uncoolest people. Like we're walking around in our goofy outfits that were picked out for us, and then you just see like a badass grip who's like tattooed and like jacked, and you're like, guy's the fucking man. Dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it makes you understand why Julia Roberts went for a cameraman. I'm like, they're kind of cooler.
They are.
Like he's a stud. He's got to hold like an 80-pound rig for 10 hours.
Danny Motor.
What is it?
Danny Motor.
That's his name?
I think that's his name, yeah.
He's hot. Good looking dude.
He is a good looking yes. But so I'm hopeful. The guy who's directing this movie that we're doing, his name is George Nolfi, and George directed a movie called The Adjustment Bureau, and then
good movie,
and then he directed The Banker.
Which one was that?
It was something that he did with Anthony Mackie and Samuel Jackson. It's on Apple, and George is amazing because he's off the scale smart. He's literate. He's a writer and a director, but he's also, this is the weird part that I can't get my head around. He's great at math. Right? So he's like the full triple threat because he knows his budget down to the cent. He knows exactly where it is. He can rewrite the scenes that are too expensive, and then he can shoot them economically. Like I'm having a great experience working with that.
That must be so nice.
It's fun. That's
He
fun.
knows the budget. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced that before with a
not
director?
to the extent where he's down to the penny. To the penny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's incredible.
When we were working on ours, we'd have like an idea. You know, we'd be like,
Right.
like,
You have an idea. I have an idea.
Yeah.
I know what the day costs.
yeah.
But I don't know that if I have 4 grips and I lose one of them because we don't need a camera move,
yeah,
how much money I'm saving by getting rid of the one grip. George knows.
that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's his
Yeah.
background?
I think he's just brilliant. He went to Princeton,
Yeah, that's like one of the Coen brothers went to Princeton
Yeah.
and studied math. Yeah,
but he's humble about it. Like, I don't even think he's ever told me that. I looked it up.
that's how those Ivy Leaguers are. Though.
Yeah, they're quiet about it.
Yeah, like when we did a Hawaii Five-0, the director, I was like, "Where are you from?" She's like, so and so. I'm like, "Where'd you go to college?" She's like, "Boston." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here! You went to
Right.
Harvard. Shut up." They always do that.
Yeah.
Except some Ivy Leaguers flex on it a lot.
There are those. There are definitely those.
But I think those are the ones who aren't killing it as hard. So they're like
Right.
bringing it up as like, "Hey, I don't have to kill it.
right.
I got
right.
into a really good college,
What college did you go to?
junior college."
What junior college?
Saddleback, IVC, Grossmont, Mesa, San Diego City, Berlin, Manhattan Community College.
That's 6 if I'm counting.
Yeah, I traveled a lot,
Yeah, I see that.
saw the world.
Chad, what about you?
Santa Clara,
Just one.
nice Jesuit school. You know.
Yeah.
What was your major again? Screenwriting.
Screenwriting. I was doing
nice.
I was doing filmmaking and it was too much work, a lot of math. And then I was
Too much
like-
math, right?
And I was doing screenwriting and I was the worst student.
That's why I did philosophy, because English was too much reading.
Right. But isn't philosophy a ton of reading also?
It's just dense. It's denser, but I just like the style of thinking more.
Right.
I like looking at a tree and being like, "Does that even exist?" You know. My dad's like, "What are you gonna do with that?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Dude,
No,
that shit
really.
fucked me up. I was in junior college and when I was in New York going to junior college and we studied Augustine and he was all about time. And it was the first time I realized you're dead forever. And I was like, oh, I was depressed for 3 months. I was just like walking around hangdog and being like, I'm just always going to be dead. I'll never not be dead. Couldn't wrap my brain around
That's
it.
crazy to
but-
think about.
But okay. I don't know if we want to go there, but that's not the
Oh.
case. These podcasts will live forever.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so you will not be just dead in the ground and for eternity. These things will keep on going, and the show will keep on going, and the God willing, you guys make movies and other TV shows, and that just lives on.
That's nice. It's a nice consolation.
Yeah, that's a great point too. I thought you were gonna go spiritual.
No.
Do you stress on death?
Yeah.
Do you stress
Yes,
on it more
I
because of
do.
your family and stuff like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I stress on it because I want to take care of Allie and the kids, right? So there's always that aspect of it, and
yeah, you got a hell of a
recently-
family. You guys
What's
are
that?
like every time I call you, your whole family is around.
it's a unit.
and they talk on the phone too, and it's like so easy.
Well,
you know what I mean?
That's nice of you to say. Listen, we are 4 people who live in the same house right now, which is kind of a great thing. And Cameron is working with me now. So every day, and he hates it that I say this to him, but I do. I just want to take all the knowledge in my head and just put it in his, right? And I don't know how to do that. And that's frustrating for me. But I also want to have that same experience with Paxton, my younger son, where, and since we're not working together, I'm not able to do it. So I try and do it with him in different ways.
Right.
You know,
What's Paxton up to?
he works for a company called Hudson Pacific, which owns the Netflix building right here.
Oh,
They own
nice.
Sunset Gower Studios
Yeah.
and Sunset Bronson, and he's in the real estate business, and he works. The company's a great company, and the chairman of the company is a guy named Victor Coleman, and he's just a badass, great, kind, brilliant CEO. I watched that guy be a CEO, and that's how you should do it.
Okay, so I've been grappling with this, and I think I'm pretty affirmative on it. But do you ever can you be too kind in this business?
I think that there's a short-term and a long-term view of that, right? So, I mean, in the short term, potentially, yeah, people can take advantage of you if you are. But in the long run, if people want to keep on working with you again and again, I think that outweighs, the short-term loss that you might get from being too kind, right? So, but if you get repeat business, that's the best way, I think, to have longevity.
That's fucking awesome.
Do you think that's right?
I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, and it's what I like about what you're saying is that it's not like Pollyannish. You're just like, no, like it's actually not only right to be kind, but it's smart to be kind. Like karmically,
Well-
those two things come together and it works out more often than not.
Yeah, I think
Or gives you a better shot at working out at least.
But I have friends, I'm in situations where things don't work out the way I want to, and I have friends who would just say, "Well, fuck that guy. Don't ever talk to that guy again." And at the point where I'm in my career now, I actually do the opposite. I try and befriend them, and and sometimes that has resulted in things that have been much more beneficial than just saying fuck you to someone I don't ever want to talk to you again, or taking too much in a deal where they never want to work with us again.
Was that hard? Like, or is that just instinctively who you are? Or do you, like, when you're initially mad at them and you're trying to work through it, do you have like I get like a fist of anger?
I do get a fist of anger, but at the same time, I also know not to respond for 24 hours. That's kind of my rule. If I'm going to write one of those emails or do one of those things that I know is going to make someone upset or hurt them, I wait 24 hours before I hit send. And if after 24 hours I still feel that way, I mean, if someone's really taking advantage of you and treating you in a horrible way, I think that they also need to know that you're going to hold them accountable for it. But
you just try to put yourself in their shoes a little bit.
A little bit. But I also think that kindness wins. I don't know.
Do you find
I
you have
hope
to
so. Yeah,
do?
you're right.
Do you find you have to write those kinds of emails or do anything like that frequently?
No, I don't have to do it frequently, but I do think that it has more meaning if it's well timed, right? So there are times when, for example, a director's going crazy and they're saying all sorts of stuff, and I have been very nice all along. That one email that says, "You've gone too far. You need to pull it back, get your shit together, and let's figure this out. Let's stop behaving the way you are." That has meaning if I haven't done that before.
Is that tough for you to do, or does that come naturally to you,
Yeah,
or is
it
that
does.
a
It
skill
does.
that you learned over time?
No, I think it's a skill I learned over time because, and it's something that JT just said, because if someone is losing their shit, it's mostly having nothing to do with me. It's having to do with the stress that they're under. And if it's a director I'm working with, part of my job is to ameliorate that stress for them so that they can be focused on what they have to do.
Yeah.
And so if one thing that I have gained is the wisdom to know that it's not always about me.
Kind of part of the gig, right? Is you have to
Right.
absorb the bullshit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So these other people can like clear their hopper.
Yeah.
And you manage to do that without taking it on like psychically or whatever.
Well, I think there was a time in my life when I definitely took it on psychically, and my hair was a different color, and then I started internalizing it. My hair turned gray, and then I got my shit straight, and now I don't.
You went through
internalize
that
it.
presidential arc.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like Werner Herzog, he says that crazy actor he worked with, he's like, I call every one of my gray hairs Klaus Kinski.
Yeah. Hell, you're talking about Fitzcarraldo? I mean, yeah.
That's some wild shit.
That's some wild shit. People died making that movie. That's not what you
We
want.
got to make something like that,
I
Brad.
would love, well, not Fitzcarraldo, but a comedy, yeah.
A comedy, but someone's
people
got to
die,
die,
yeah.
dude.
Well, we'll kill someone in a funny way.
Right.
You're talking about really die during the production? Because that's not going to work out well for us.
Yeah. It's fun
He
to
got away
dream,
with it because
though.
he shot that movie in Brazil, right? Where did they shoot that movie?
Somewhere in
Or-
South America, like
or-
Peru, I think.
Peru, yeah. So
Do you find a lot of actors want to do their own stunts like Tom Cruise? You have to, because we heard through the grapevine that Tom Cruise can only do that because he insures himself.
he's an anomaly. I've said on this podcast, there's no one like him. He's the biggest movie star
Yeah.
ever. I want to meet him. I've never met him. I think that he has made it a brand. His brand. It's part of his
Yeah.
brand. Is that he's a badass and he can do anything.
Dude, I want that, man.
Why do short guys make better actors?
I don't know if that's true.
Brando is 5'8", Newman's 5'9", Cruz is like 5'2".
Cruz is, okay, he's not 5'2". If Tom's listening, I want him to know that I'm defending him. He's probably 5. I don't know how tall he
I
is,
think it's
but
5'7".
yeah.
But-
I don't know what the answer is. But that is.
Pacino's like pretty bite-sized.
But there are some tall actors too.
Skarsgård?
Is he tall?
Yeah, he's
I
a
assume he
monster.
is.
Momoa?
Momoa.
Right, but I mean, great actors. But
Okay.
Jim Carrey?
it's a good question. Is he tall? I
I
don't
think
know.
he's tall.
he's tall.
Yeah, he's probably 6 feet.
Tom Hanks is tall.
Never met him.
I think he's tall.
Small guy energy, though.
Right. He's a nice guy though.
Seems sweet.
He seems like a
He
sweet
has that
dude.
reputation for sure. Yeah. So I don't know.
Um,
What are you guys seeing out there? Because I, as you know, I love the Comedy Store.
Mm.
It's a very special place to me. And I'm curious what you're seeing out there with the comedians now, as it relates to what's happening in our country. And is that a place
You-
where? Go ahead. What
you
are you
know,
gonna say, Chad?
I think comedians are. I think it's kind of shifting. I think there's a time. Are you talking about in terms of like people being able to say what they want to say
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff?
Exactly.
I think it's shifting back. And personally, I feel less. I don't know if it's maturing or stuff. And I don't have like controversial opinions, but I feel less fearful of saying the wrong thing. Like when we were first starting out, you do a podcast and you'd be terrified of like, don't say something that can be
Right.
misinterpreted the wrong way
Right.
because then you could get
Right.
screwed. And I feel a cultural shift where you don't see people getting taken down on like Twitter and stuff for that stuff very often anymore. I think people don't really have a tolerance for it unless it's really egregious. And then I feel like the more successful comics these days are the ones that are kind of like, sort of say fuck you to all that a little bit.
Right.
And they don't go too far. But they sort of you can sense that they're sort of standing in the face of that and just being honest, and they're just not as fearful.
I do think there's like a little fatigue from all the conversations about it and all the aggression around it. Like, oh, this guy misstepped this way or this gal misstepped this way. Now we got to drag them for it. I think everyone's like, oh, again, like we're going through this again, and then they start to. When people like Aubrey Plaza are getting in trouble for things they did when they were like 15 and stuff, you're like, is she really like a force for what's wrong with the world? Like it's a tough sell for me. But there has been other changes at the Comedy Store. Like it definitely used to be more of a boys club. Right. And I think the new management there has kind of, and a lot of those comics were great too. And like they sold tickets, like that place was packed out and it was a party. It wasn't all bad, but then there was parts about it that were alienating to other people. And now it seems like they've kind of switched that a little bit. And it does feel like it's a new kind of day there right now. I'm not there a ton, so a lot of people could speak to it better. But I also agree with Chad that like we did a show the other day and like, people were going hard in the paint. Like people were saying, wild shit. And it feels like there's an energy like that, like the audience kind of desires that. Like they're like, hey, I want to go somewhere
where you can just say whatever you're going to say and without fear of retribution.
Yeah, and they get a charge from it where they're like, oh fuck yeah, someone like said something.
Because if you go on the Tonight Show and say some of those things, that would probably
you won't go on the Tonight Show. Yeah, unless you're like one of the unless you're like Burr, you know what I mean, and you've kind of proven you can navigate anything.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to like the audience isn't really there anymore.
Right.
They're on YouTube.
Right.
So I even feel like my sort of comedic voice has never really been, one where it's sort of like, it's hard truth, like comes from pain. But I do feel I've always liked edgy comics. My favorite kind of comics to listen to are really edgy comics. And,
when we did The Road for the first time, it was just Nick DiPaolo on.
Oh yeah,
but he's hilarious.
Yeah, and you listen to like you go to open mics and it's like, well, you kind of get used to comedy, so you hear like the edgy ones really sort of stand out to you. But I think my sort of sensibilities have matured since then. But now I do feel kind of an urge or whatever to want to be a little bit more edgy and to sort of like, if those kinds of thoughts or ideas come to my mind, to say them.
And I've had sets where I was too edgy, you know what I mean? And sometimes you get a laugh off something edgy and you don't like it because you realize like there's not enough thought or like you didn't really earn it, you know what I mean? You just kind of gave them that like easy charge, and then you're like, and then afterwards you're kind of like, you kind of feel a little guilty. You're like, oh, is that really like, did I really like justify it enough?
Right.
And then, but you want to have a place where you can work through that and figure it out and to see if you can justify it. And I think that was something that was like really important when I started comedy, and then it kind of got lost because there was also a lot of morons saying a lot of crazy shit.
Right.
And
Right.
it was
Right.
probably, and I
Right.
was one of them, and am one of them oftentimes. And it was like, I get why people pushed back on that. I don't think people were thinking about it too much. I think people were like, I'm a comedian, I can say anything I want, and I don't think enough of us were thinking like, okay, you can, but like, should you, or like, or does that mean there's no consequences
Right.
and stuff like
Right.
that? Yeah, it's interesting. I'm very curious where it's going to go in like the next 3 years or wherever.
Can we go back to something else that you touched on that I want to tell you guys something?
Mhm.
Aubrey Plaza made a movie called Emily the Criminal.
I want to see it. Yeah, how is it?
It is so good, and she is so amazing in it, and it's the last thing that you would think that she would do. You just have to see this movie.
It's like a raw, gritty drama, right?
Yeah, and she's incredible.
Is it out now?
I got a screener of it. I don't know, but it's one of the best things that I've seen. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but it is out now.
Is it in theaters?
Yep, it's in theaters right now.
Oh.
Make the time.
What's it called?
Emily the Criminal.
Emily the
And the directors. It's just a great movie. It's a great ride.
I want to check it out. What else have you been seeing?
I'm watching The Patient right now.
Oh, that's the Donald Gleason, Steve
my
Carell one
God.
from the people who did The Americans
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I've only seen 3 episodes. I mean, the acting is incredible. It's super tight, and it's a little bit heavy.
They're good. The Americans ripped. That was
Oh
a
yeah,
good
no,
show.
those guys are good. I think Joel Fields, and I forgot the other showrunner's name, but Carell and you said his name is Donald.
Donald Gleason.
He's so good in this. I mean, it's just like it's just wonderful just to watch him, and there's not a lot of action. It's just 2 people acting against
like a
each other.
play.
It's really awesome.
He's his dad's Brendan Gleason, so
Yeah.
he's another one who got in early and like
Well, he's in the Star Wars movies. He has red hair in some of those Star Wars movies.
yeah, he's one of the bad guys.
Yeah,
he's kind of the button pusher.
yeah, exactly. And then I watched The Umbrella Academy, which I loved. I thought that was really fun, the 3rd season, and I thought that Stranger Things was incredible. This
I need to
4th
get
season.
back on that.
The 4th season, I mean, just big and fantastic.
Whatever came, when last time we spoke to you, you were doing meetings with like prominent TikTokers and stuff like that.
Yeah, not much really came of that. It's a different career cycle, I think, and since I'm not living in TikTok and social media is not the way that we're casting our movies, I mean, I wanted to see what that world was, but it didn't feel like a fit for the things that I was doing.
Dude, I can't believe we haven't talked about it yet.
But
Top Gun.
the greatest movie ever made. I mean,
I think it should win best
Picture.
picture.
I think it
100%.
might.
I think it will.
it should.
Well, what else would you put
Well, that's
up
my
against it?
my dad's like, if it doesn't win, then the Oscars lose all credibility.
I mean, how amazing is that's what a movie needs to be, right? I mean, it's very simple to say after $700 million domestically, but that's what a movie should be. You go there, you forget your problems for 2 hours,
Mhm.
you're so in, you feel it. Oh my God, I would be so. I mean, I love sitting it in there and experiencing it. It was so awesome.
It gets better in each additional screening too. I like the second time I saw it. There's like just like little things. It's not little the way they should, but like when you see the plane, just like
Oh,
when
I
he's
know, that's
talking to them, he's like, "I'll
badass.
see you on the deck," and it just moves up.
Yeah.
Just like how real it is. It's like.
Yeah, I loved it.
I just look over at my girlfriend. I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
Exactly.
My dad was like, it gave me faith in movies again. And I was like, I think it gave me faith.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was truly
That's awesome.
like it gave me faith in America. It gave me faith in
Yeah,
movies. It gave me faith
for
in like
sure.
the human spirit.
Yeah,
And it's all
awesome.
built around, again,
Tom.
Tom Cruise's like
Okay.
can-do attitude. Like
Yeah.
the whole movie's just built around like he'll get it done.
Just it's perfect in every way. Did you guys see Prey?
No, I heard that was
No.
great.
Really good.
Do you
Really good.
do you worry about the future of the world with having kids?
Yeah, I worry about the future of the world. I worry about dying and the future of the world. Those are probably the first 2 things I think of
Yeah,
when I wake
I
up
guess-
is will I die today? And if I do, what will happen with my kid's future?
Well, yeah, because I'm getting older now too, and I'm like, yo, like, it's like 120 degrees. Even in spite of Top Gun.
Paxton said to me yesterday, because it was 120 degrees, and he said, "Dad, is the world ending?" I said, "No, it's just hot."
Right.
It's like,
Because even if it is, it's better to just say it's hot and keep plugging.
Right. You don't want to say, yes, it's ending. And then,
Well, and my thing is always, I'm like, if I have a kid, I just have to imbue them with the spirit that they can change it, that they can make it better. Like, it's the last thing that comes out of Pandora's box is hope, right? As long as we got that, we can keep swinging.
that's right. And I do believe that. I do. I mean, you have to. It's rough, but like this crazy thing happened today, which has never happened to me. And I was in the morning. I go and get coffee at the same place, very early, and I'm in my car, and I say a kid, like a 21-year-old kid, comes up, and he looks he's dirty, and he's definitely not with it, and he opens up my passenger door.
Oh,
And he leans in and he says, give me your wallet. I'm like, get the fuck out of my car. Which is not me. I'm a big pussy. But I was so incensed that this guy did that. Like, you know, that he did that. And he looked at me and I looked at him back. I was pissed. And he kind of just walked away, right? But my adrenaline was pumping from that. And that's something that has not happened to me in LA. I've lived in LA for 56 years. That's something like that has never happened to me. And that's the one thing where I get concerned about, you know, if that's happening to me and you read about the news and you're seeing all the crime and all that stuff, I worry about that. That plagues me.
yeah. Do you think that, you know, do you think because I feel like there's a lot of leftover sort of symptoms from COVID like that. And do you think that it's going to get worse before it gets better? Or do you think it's kind of like we went through the tough time? Like, do you see like a light at the end of the tunnel with all that?
And well, the problem is, and I was thinking about this, and this is bizarre, but I went to go look for the kid after this happened, maybe to talk to him and help him out, you know, but he was clearly strung out on something when it happened. You know, we don't seem to have a place to house all these people and to help them.
Yeah.
And that's what's unsettling, because, you know, why should a 21-year-old kid be walking the streets and, you know, and not have some place to go or someone to help them get through rough times? You know, that bums me out.
It is a bummer.
It is a bummer. I didn't mean to put a damper on.
Let's
go back to Tom Cruise.
Well, if anyone can fix it,
Tom can fix it.
If he just allocated some of that energy he's got.
I know, but I mean, here, do you experience that? Do you experience any crime here?
A little bit. I guess I've had some nervous moments, but I've been lucky. I've been really lucky. Nothing's ever touched me. My car got stolen when I was in high school, but that was my buddy.
Right.
So that was an inside job.
Chad, what about you?
No, I felt, you know, Culver, I'm in a very residential area. So, you know, I used to be on Venice Boulevard, or not, but like right next to Venice Boulevard. And that felt a little bit, you know, actually my ex lived on a street where it was RVs all the way down the street. And they're still there. Like I've you know, and
my office is on Venice Boulevard, and there has been an RV in front of my office for a year and a half.
Yeah, and you're just like, these people.
And and we can't get it moved, and then I see the guy coming in and out of it.
Yeah, it's crazy, and so that's something where you sort of, I didn't really have any like weird encounters, I would say, although homeless encampment like did burn down next to my old apartment building.
Oh wow, that's scary.
I think someone died there. Yeah,
really?
I think so. But now I'm in a more sort of residential area, so it's very kind of, it doesn't even really feel like LA,
right?
Which I like.
But yeah, I'm still pumped on the future, though. I think things will shake out positively.
I do too. I think so too.
Yeah, I think you give it 4 or 5 years.
You think it's that long?
Just to be, I don't know, maybe like 2 years to like start to. Yeah, I think things are gonna linger for a bit. But it'll be nice, you know?
So you just got to wait it out.
Yeah, but it's also like you look through like history and stuff, you know? Like, you know, people like to romanticize like, I mean, 40s, 60s, there's always crazy shit happening.
Well, the one disappointing thing to me about your show is that I'm old enough to remember in 1976 there was a streaker in the Academy Awards. Came right. David Niven was, I think it was David Niven was getting an award, and a streaker came right in front. And you guys in the show, you were streaking, and I was hoping that was going to kind of bring that back, and I don't feel like that's caught on, and that could really help LA a lot. I think.
Yeah, it's just about getting people feeling safe around dong again.
Right.
And it's a nuanced thing, and we just need time.
Game
Okay.
of Thrones made a valiant effort.
Who did?
Game of Thrones.
Oh, they did.
I mean,
that's true.
They put dong like front and center in the
They
culture.
They did.
And so I think you're just trying to carry the torch.
Well, you did a great job. I was just.
Yeah.
I think that can really
So you think
put
more
a smile on a lot of people's
more
faces.
dong for season 2? Is that what you're
If
saying?
that's what you're asking for, Brad, I can.
Did
I
we
can serve
did it
that
get
up.
picked up for season 2?
No,
Is that the big announcement here?
No. We got to keep pushing, baby. We got to keep pushing. Yeah, we're on the grind.
So maybe if we promise more dong in season 2, we'll get that early pickup.
Fellas who are watching, bet your ass.
Yeah.
How is your mom, by the way? I loved your mom.
She's
on
a
the show.
superstar, dude.
God.
She's great. She's
So
handled it
lovable,
all.
and she loves you. God, does she love you?
She really does.
I mean, she really loves you.
I get messages like this like once a week. They're so intense, but I'm intense, so I get where I understand it. Where she's like, Jean Thomas, I just wanted to call and tell you that I love you so much. It's like 3
that
p.m.
nice?
on a Wednesday.
That's so nice.
It's fucking incredible. And she'd put herself in front of a train for me every day of the week.
I see it.
I'm very lucky that
She
way.
paid for the small dong march, right?
She did. She ponied up for that because she knew it was a good cause. And
That's
then-
right. Yeah, she did.
Yeah, my parents have both been like so great about everything. And you've been on the receiving end of some of our panicky calls as we go through this for the first time.
Yeah, well, that's just the benefit of having done this once or twice before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I called you, I think 2 Sundays ago.
Yeah.
You're basically like, it's out, it's funny, because my mind is going towards that all, and you're like, what does it matter? And I was like, fuck, you're right.
It's out there. It's done. It's like a part of the fabric. It's part of the entertainment fabric now, right? It's that.
Yeah.
It's part of that quilt. Now, what are we going to do next?
It's a big fucking
Yeah.
quilt.
It's a big quilt.
It's a big fucking quilt.
Yeah,
Wait, are you watching the Newman doc on HBO?
I
about him
have
and
to
Joanna
see it. It's
Woodward?
on my list.
Dude, it's cool. It's very romantic about life.
Who made
but
that? Wait, who made that?
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke, right?
And that guy loves himself some art. Yeah, he did a beautiful job with it. Because they'll be talking about their own life and then they'll cut it with a movie. So it has this weird thing where it's like not real life in the movie, but it feels like real life because they're talking about their actual lives. And it just adds like this third meaning to everything that's like really, I don't know, it stirs you in a way that I haven't felt before.
He's a very bright guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this or not, but he died at the end of the first Purge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sad.
He was great in that.
He was great in that.
I was surprised when he died.
Me too.
Yeah.
I fought to keep him alive.
Really?
I want credit for that. I did.
You did?
Yeah, but no.
Who were you, the director, and you were?
Well, DeMonico, is smart about it. I always want a happy ending. I fought for Krasinski to live at the end of A Quiet Place. I said, please, you don't have to die. You don't. I have to die. No, you don't have to die. And I always lose that battle.
Mm.
So did you like at the end of The Town? Did you want Affleck to get away with it, or do you
I
feel
did.
like he should?
I did. Of course I did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm that guy.
What's you probably can't get into the actual of it.
I can get
but
at anything you want.
I'll do your beast. What's like the I guess either the biggest creative battle you've had that shook out in an interesting way, or the funniest one that you've had where you look back on and you're like, I can't believe we were fucking fighting about that. It's kind of a meatball of a question, so
No, it's not. That's a hard thing,
that's why there's a lot to take down.
It doesn't seem like a lot, and this is so ridiculous for me to say, but in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, there were so many characters in the movie, and I kept on saying, there are too many characters, I can't keep track of all of these characters, and I kept on saying, can we eliminate this or that? And in the end, to this day, I think the movie is really fun, but there were too many characters in that movie, and that was a fight. It was a fight because it would have been better to have less characters, but the fans want to see all of their favorite characters come to life. So Bebop and Rocksteady, they kind of, you had to have them.
That's the snapping turtle and the wolf thing.
Yeah, some
They are pretty
well,
cool.
it was the rhinoceros and the yeah, but
They are cool.
but it's also, JD, I don't look at it the way you said it, where it's just like one throwdown that is going to change the course of the movie, because it just doesn't go that way. It doesn't go that way. Now, there are plenty of times where you'll test a movie and I'll talk to my partners and I'll say, I know this isn't going to work. I know this isn't going to work. And I can be surprised. Like, I wanted John Krasinski to live at the end of A Quiet Place. And when we tested the movie, I thought the audience was going to hate it, and they didn't. Right. So I was really wrong on that. Really wrong. At the end of The Purge, just because we're talking about it, the audience didn't love that Ethan died, but we came up with a beat after that ameliorated the pain of his death, which was Lena Headey takes the gun and shoves it in the woman's face and hits the woman who's been tormenting her the whole time in the face, and the audience cheers. So you have the death, but then the audience cheers and they forget about the death,
Right.
because they're cheering, and then they walk out and they're happy.
Right. Where did you put the death? And
Right,
did you give him
right.
something to kind
So
of savor
It was
afterward?
very satisfying.
Yeah, but that was not in the original movie. In the original movie, he just dies,
Oh.
and so we've had to figure out a way.
Yeah.
So those are the battles that I really remember. And what happens in the movie business is that they always test these movies, and that's always the most stressful event in the making of your film. That and opening night, the first time you test a movie and you find out whether the movie works or not, right? And you learn so much from it. And the thing that you said, there's my way and your way. The way I try and look at it, there's my way, there's whoever's fighting me on it, and then there's the audience's vote, right? And the audience always wins. In my book, if the audience is saying something in a very loud voice, meaning 80 or 90% of them feel something, then my opinion is much less relevant. I don't know. That's the way I look at it. Some people look at it differently. I don't make art movies, right? So that,
Well, I know Ben Stiller was just talking about it. Like, he used to do a lot of audience testing, and now he's doing less of it. But he's also doing different styles of project.
Yes.
Like, Severance is a lot different than like Tropic
For sure.
Thunder.
For sure.
Like, one of them, you need the audience to be,
right.
jazzed throughout. One of them is like, it's kind of more a thinker thing where they can
Right.
just kind of grapple with it.
And by the way, in some ways, I feel like that's the difference between, one of the many differences between the TV shows now and movies, is the way I've said this to you guys before. I always look at it this way: how's the audience feeling when they're walking to their car? Right? That might be an outdated way of viewing it, because now so many people are watching movies at home. But as a way of looking at it, are you feeling good when you're walking to your car? Are you feeling uplifted from this, or are you feeling depressed? And I always, even though a lot of the movies that I've been a part of are somewhat depressing because a lot of people die, I'm kind of always looking in the end for that little lift where you feel good about it, even though you've been dragged through hell.
Yeah, are you satisfied?
I like
Yeah.
that.
So
A little bit of
that's-
hope.
yeah.
What are the so when you do audience testing, you give them like a card, right?
It's a piece of paper.
And then what is how do you pick the words that you use for that? Are you like, is it like, did this movie satisfy? Did it make you happy? Or like, what's the kind of questions you ask?
Well, there's two answers to that. First, there are companies that do this. This is all they do. And I've done it so many times. I know the principals at the companies, and before we'll go in, we'll talk to the studio and the director, and we'll word the questions, whatever's the standard way. And for the most part, the questions are the same for almost every movie, for the most part. And then at the end, you pepper in a little bit of different questions that are more specific to this film. But the things you're really looking for is, how did you feel about the pacing? Was the pacing too fast, too slow, or just right? How did you feel satisfied at the end of the movie? Those type of things.
And the audience is pretty good with the pacing stuff,
yeah.
even if it's not like how they consciously think about it.
No, but the audiences are great. I mean, they're
they're never wrong, like Billy Wilder said, right?
I subscribe to that.
And who do you get in there? Like, what are the?
We're never privy to that, because if we were, we would stack it with all of our friends and make sure it goes the way we want.
Right.
So they get people off the internet and whatever. But you can tell sometimes when you're testing a movie that the people there are veterans of going to movie tests,
Right.
like there was a time when we always used to test movies in Burbank, right? So the people who lived in that area were seeing more tests than other people. And I was actually talking to a buddy of mine who was telling me that they're going to test his movie in Kansas City because they want to have an authentic audience who's never had the experience. And also they're testing the movie in Kansas City because they don't want anyone to hear how the test went. Because now with Twitter and whatever, people will post, I was at a test of blah, blah. And the movie
People will
sucks.
post
Everybody's
that.
right. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you make them sign something where they say they don't, but still it's somewhat inevitable.
Do you find that's interesting too with like LA, like when we're shooting stuff or whatever, we try to get out of LA because it's LA audiences especially are so just savvy. And do you find that there's the test results and their sort of opinion of movies is generally in line with the masses?
I would say that for the most part, most of the movies that we've tested have always been here, and I've always found the testing process to be additive.
Yeah.
Not every single test I've been to, but in the aggregate, they seem all. I've learned more from that than anything else in terms of about the film that I'm a part of. Yeah. You looking at your questions now?
Yeah, you want to answer some cues?
Sure. Is it that time? I feel like we've only been talking for 5 minutes.
No, I think we've been talking for like, how long?
You want to take a guess?
Hour 15?
An hour and 9 minutes.
Wow. I love coming here. It's like being in, time stands still and moves quickly at the same time. It's like a time machine when I come
I love
here.
that.
It's true.
We're like two trains running parallel. You can't even tell you're moving, but you always get where you're going.
Exactly.
That's
That's
nice.
exactly right. Now,
Brad, you're a legend.
we didn't talk about any manscaping. Is that not happening anymore? Or we'll
Oh,
do it
dude,
later?
that's still very much in play.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure.
You got some products right next to you.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Lawnmower 4.0. And not only is it the Lawnmower 4.0, that's the Lawnmower 4.0 with testicular cancer awareness purple on there.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Cool.
You could
Nice.
you could manscape and bring awareness.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then they got the ear and nose hair trimmer.
Oh,
over
yeah.
there.
That's
great.
wonderful. Does
Yeah.
every guest get that?
We can start with you.
No. It's fine.
Just you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. What's up, JT?
Do you shave?
Of course. I shave my full body. I shave everything.
You're like a dolphin.
Yeah, I get waxed every week.
Hairless. I love it.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know once again that we have a show out on Netflix, Chad and JT Go Deep. If you haven't watched it, watch it now. Binge it in under 2 hours. It's a fun ride, and we guarantee you're going to have a good time, and your stoke will be boosted for at least 12 days. We also are on tour. We're in Honolulu this Thursday. The whole squad is coming to Seattle. Then we got Nashville, Chicago. We got New York coming up, Boston, Atlanta, Denver, and Salt Lake City. And more shows coming. So get your tickets at chadandjt.com. It's a good time, we promise. We're also brought to you by the legends at Helix Sleep. Helix Sleep is a premium mattress brand that provides tailored mattresses based on your unique sleep preferences. They got 14 unique mattresses. Take the Helix Sleep quiz and find your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes, and your personalized mattress is shipped straight to your door free of charge. Guys, I use a Helix mattress, and they sent me one. I took the quiz, and I was hesitant because I love my mattress. And I was like, you know what? I'm moving into a new place. I'm going to try the Helix, test it out, and boom, best mattress I've ever been on. No joke. That is totally on. Like, I love Helix Sleep. I cannot recommend them enough. If you're looking for a mattress, go to Helix Sleep. You will not regret it. And they offer a 100-night risk-free trial. That's how much they trust their products because they're legit. They got soft, medium, firm, side, back, stomach, move around all night kind of mattresses. There are no questions on the quiz. And it's American made and comes with a 10 to 15-year warranty depending on the model. And remember, you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. And it's been awarded the #1 mattress picked by GQ and Wired magazine. It's even recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine as a go-to solution for improving your sleep. So Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/go deep with Helix. Better sleep starts now. We're also brought to you by the legends at Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims peeled, for looking after our hogs, for making sure their dinks are looking fresh and clean, because smooth sack summer's coming slowly to an end, fellas, and you're ready for fresh ball fall. So make sure you take care of those pubes, trim them off, make them look good and nice and fresh. You want your balls fresh for the fall, because that crisp air is going to come in, and you want it to hit your balls nice, because when you get crisp air hitting pubeless sac, that creates what? More fertility. Good. So get that with the Performance Package 4.0. You can get the trimmer, you can get the weed whacker, the crop preserver ball deodorant, the crop reviver toner, liquid formulations to get that fresh ball fall freshness. Guys, get on the Manscaped train right now. It's the best company in the world. That and Helix are my two favorite brands right now, so check them out. They're epic. If you're on the Manscaped train, you got to get on it right away. It leveled up my life to levels I don't even know how to describe. So get 20% off plus free shipping with the code GODEEP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code GODEEP at manscaped.com. Keep things smooth and fresh as we say sayonara to smooth ball summer and enter fresh ball fall. All right, let's get back to the show.
All right, what's up, Chad? Howdy, JT. I have some buddies who I usually go out with a few days a week, and I used to always have fun. But lately, I've had zero fun the entire time, and I'm not sure if it's just me now realizing it, or if I genuinely need a break from the guys. But it kind of seems like all they do is talk shit and make me feel dumb when I'm in the water. And if I don't go because of work or whatever else, they just talk shit to me for not being able to go. Am I just being a bitch, or are they being renobs? Any advice helps a ton. Thanks, bros. Tough to say, right?
It's hard to say from that. I wonder if he's becoming a schmoll.
I appreciate your sensitivity. I really do. I get it. But also, like, and like, it's not always the best side of things, but that is how kind of people relate to each other. Like, it's hard when it's a new group of people because you're not accustomed to them talking shit to you, so you can be a bit more reactive to it. But like, my oldest friends, we talk shit.
That's how men communicate for the most part. I mean,
yeah,
it feels like that's all we do.
Yeah, and I to me it feels like he's being too sensitive.
Yeah,
and he needs to.
Which is not schmoly behavior, but it's tangential.
It's tangential to. It's like to the point where it's like too sensitive to the point where it's like. Yeah, I think there's like a on the scale. That's where you get in the schmoll territory.
Right.
He could be getting there.
Yeah, I think, the best way to combat it, I think, is to rip at surfing. If you're shredding, like if you're good at something, that normally gives you a little bit of a reprieve on that stuff. So I just get in that water and I'd be surfing all the time, even when I'm not with them. And then when you come out there and they see that improvement, give them no choice but to give you an affirmative head nod.
Yeah. Also, a good antidote to their shit talking is to sort of laugh along with them and agree with them.
Yeah.
Be like, dude, you suck. And you're like, I know, right? And then they'll be like, well, I can't talk shit anymore. He just agrees. So, you try that out too.
Yeah. And maybe write us back and give us some examples of what they're saying. Cause there is like if they're keeping it, relatively friendly and low stakes, I think you just got to vibe with it. But if they're saying like hurtful things, there's always a line, but yeah, I agree with y'all. All right. How do you keep your stoke as summer comes to an end?
My stoke is not dependent solely on the climate. I find other things that raise my stoke. Coming here, talking to you guys is going to raise my stoke for at least a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I need you and I can't come in here, I can watch the show on Netflix.
Oh, thank you.
Or I can, listen to the pod. There's you got to find other things. You can't make your stoke just dependent on the weather or the time of year, right?
I fall victim to that a lot.
You do?
It was cloudy this morning, and I was struggling.
You cannot let that be the sole determiner.
You just gotta keep moving.
That's right.
Keep
Move
moving
forward.
And you know what, too, that I've learned is that you gotta learn how to make yourself impervious to the external.
Correct.
Whether it's cloudy, whether someone called you a renob or something,
right.
You just say, no, the power, I have the power.
Right.
The stoke is here.
It's internal.
Yes.
And you have to guard it jealously.
Yes. And you're like, this, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to move. I'm I'm gonna get some work done, and I'm gonna.
Gonna
Yeah.
sun my asshole.
Yeah, you telling me?
Even if there's no sun, like the UV still cuts through the clouds.
I know. Exactly. I like that.
That fires
Yeah.
me up. Chad,
Okay.
do you want to log us into here real quick so we can get some more cues?
Is this a new computer?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a new computer.
Today?
Yesterday.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's fun. Are you guys gonna get a new iPhone and watching any of that? Did you see that presentation yesterday?
Oh, did they do one of their big apples?
Yeah.
One of their big
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
did
but
they have some cool
there's
stuff?
an iPhone 14 that has a satellite. So if you're in the middle of nowhere and you need help, it can get you help. As you know, there's that, and camera's new, and it takes your body temperature.
Have you shot anything on iPhones yet, like
No.
a movie wise,
Mm-mm.
like Sean Baker style?
No,
Do you think we're probably getting pretty close, right?
I think it could. It film festivals. I'm sure it's happening.
Right, it's like already there.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if we're gonna read this question, but Gouda Cheesemaker's subject line is "I'm busy eating pussy." I'm not gonna click it because it doesn't seem like he needs help. It seems like
No.
he's living a great life.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
We were on K Rock because they heard I was really sad about the Choco Taco
Yeah, me too.
being
This is a big problem for me.
it sucks. And we were on live on K Rock, and I was like, "Can we do a moment of silence
For the Choco Taco?
Yeah.
But you know the Choco Taco is not discontinued, and it's and I
It-
had one last week.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
it's still out there.
It's out there.
Oh. Is it
Yeah.
coming? Did they sort
They're-
of give in to the pressure?
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
Really?
they did. Yeah.
Do you
they're
think it was a
gonna-
marketing ploy?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I love a
It
Choco
was
Taco.
smart.
I
It
don't
was
think I've
smart.
ever had one.
Oh, they're so
Oh,
good.
dude.
Where do you get them at?
Oh,
I go to Maine every summer, and
Oh,
this
that's
place
right.
where I go, they have Choco Tacos.
it looks amazing where you go,
Oh, it's
and you're
really
rocking
good.
the pastel.
Thank you
Are
so
you
much.
rocking
Thank you.
pastel the whole time?
The whole time.
That's awesome.
I didn't send you the pictures this year, but yeah, it's good.
You got to rock pants with on each pleat. It's a different color.
Yeah, for sure. I do all that. It's awesome.
Dude.
It's like a costume party every night.
Do you see Stephen King out there?
No, I don't.
Damn.
Different. He's in Bangor, Maine. I'm in South
Ah.
Casco, Maine.
I feel like you guys would get along though. 'cause
I do
you-
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have commonality for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. You know, I always reference the time we asked you if ghosts cross the street because that's something
I know. Well, that's a real question.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do.
You are a ghost expert.
Thank you. I love that you asked me that question. Okay. Yeah.
Ghosts.
That was
Just
good.
come over. I'm gonna fuck with you, man. No, please.
What's up, boys? I'm a longtime listener of the pod, and you guys have helped put a smile on my face when I really need it. Absolutely dank. I'm writing to you guys in a sense of confusion. I recently started college, and I'm in a relationship of about 9 months with an amazing girl. My question to you guys is, how do I know when to call it quits on a relationship? I love this girl so much, and I've loved her ever since I met her, but something in my mind is telling me to explore college and live single for a bit. I'm scared that I won't like it if I leave her, and I'm even more scared that I'll break her heart and hurt her. Am I a shitty person for thinking this way while in a relationship? I don't want to leave her, but I don't want to keep having these thoughts like I'm missing out on something. I know it's stereotypical to break up to live the college life, so how would I do it? I don't think I would lose anything to stay with her, but I'm just confused. Please let me know if you guys have any advice.
Did you say what year he is?
Recently started college,
So
so
he's a freshman.
I think so.
I have an opinion about this,
Go.
and it comes from what I thought was probably not the best way to start college. But I started college. I went to school on the East Coast, and my girlfriend went to school in Santa Barbara, and I tried to maintain a relationship, and it was just such a disaster. And the thing that it did for me was I was never present in college, right? I was trying to figure out how I was going to keep that relationship going, and that was just the wrong way to start my college career, right? It just because I wasn't there, like I wasn't committing to the to the world I was in. So I would say to this guy that if he's not able to fully commit to where he is and the community that he's going to be spending the next 4 years with, ideally, then he should break up. What do you think of that? That's a definitive answer right there.
I think it's beautiful.
You
I think
don't
nailed
mind
it.
that? You don't think that's too harsh?
No, because I think too, like, look, anytime you're in a relationship, you're gonna have thoughts once in a while at least where you're like, is this the right situation for me? But I
course.
think when it is the right person, there's always a thought that follows that's like, I just don't want to do that.
That's
I
right.
just want to stay. And if that second voice isn't coming in, and instead the voice that's coming in is saying things like, I don't want to hurt her, I don't know if I'll be happy without her, that's not what that voice should be saying.
Right.
The voice should be saying, of course I'm having those thoughts, but at the end of the day, this is the person I want to be with.
That's right.
And if that second thought doesn't come, then you already know your answer. Yeah.
But it is hard when you're in a new environment that you're going to be in for a long time
yeah.
to maintain a relationship from the old environment you were in. That's a hard thing to do.
It might require a new him. Yeah, because he's 18. He doesn't know who he is yet.
That's right.
He's got a lot of learning to do. And I think, that doesn't mean you go become like like you just commit your life to getting laid or something like that. But the more you can experience, the better idea you'll have as to what you actually want.
Yeah.
I feel for people some people just know. I have friends who met their high school sweetheart and they absolutely belong together. But sometimes you're like, I don't know if you even really know what it is that you want because you never kind of
Right.
flew without a net a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Chad?
I agree with both of you guys. I don't
Okay.
really have anything to add.
Okay.
I like that second. I like what that second thought thing is. I think that's
Yeah.
a real thing. And if you got to make sure you have that. Yeah, that voice in your head that's just it's like understands the thoughts and then just spokes them.
Right.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
I was in a similar situation when I was 18, and you don't realize there's so many more people out there as well. Like this one girl that you're with, you think oh, this is the love of my life, but go meet people at college, go see what's out there, maybe she actually isn't the love of your life.
Right.
There's someone better,
It's so true because especially as you go through life and when you like my relationship now compared to it's like when you have it, the one now is so amazing where you're
Yep.
like how was I what were other relationships before where you're just I don't know, it's like when you get into one where it blows your mind where you're like it's
Well,
like this knowing where you're like, oh, this is what it's supposed to be like.
Right. So that's what you're looking for. So if this
Yeah.
guy doesn't have that feeling,
Yeah.
then he's got to make a different choice.
Yeah.
Or you could go to the Comedy Store, see a girl across the room, tell your best friend you're going to marry her, and 30 years later you got 2 kids in a house and you're still with the same woman.
Hell yeah.
Brad, let's go.
Come on.
Dude.
Brad, come
Let's go.
on. Come on, brother.
Dude, is that a
Come
Nuva
on.
ring?
Yeah.
Have we talked about this?
I'm happy to talk
I
about
think
it.
I need to get a Nuva ring. I had a Whoop and then I got off it.
I'm not in the whoop, but I do like the aura.
Is that the Aura ring? Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
oh.
Nuva ring. Is that for menstruation or something?
Right.
What's that?
We'll look it up.
Dude,
Oh, I
I
thought
think
you
it's
said
birth
it's-
control. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you should get one of those.
For men or
Yeah,
women?
I'm gonna get that and the Uva. Is Uva ring?
Oh, I thought you said aura.
Aura ring.
Yeah, aura. Yeah.
Sorry.
Nuva ring is a ring that goes inside for birth control.
Nice, dude.
And you wanted to get one, dude.
Oh,
dude. Dude, you just said you got a pussy, bro. Unless you're putting it in your butt, dude.
Can you guys stop talking shit?
Yeah, is that what the guys at the surf
Yeah,
thing are doing?
that's
If
right,
they're
that's
saying
right.
that, dude, it's
Yeah.
it's just normal, bro. Yeah.
But do I think I'm gonna get the Aura ring?
Problem with the aura ring is that it doesn't agree with my Apple Watch.
Right.
They fight about how I sleep, and
Mm.
so
Who do you
I don't know who to
trust?
believe.
You got 2 different doctors.
Yeah,
in your ear.
it's rough. I refer more to the Apple Watch, but I think the Aura Ring is giving me better information.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, last cue. Hey guys, I'd like for this to remain anonymous because people I know sometimes listen to this pod. This is kind of long, so bear with me. Buckle up.
Standing
fellas.
by.
I'm currently dating this girl and we are in love with each other. We've been dating now for close to 8 months and it's been completely blissful. However, I have a group of bros and we've all been best friends for 15 plus years. It's awesome. 3 of them have hooked up with my now ex back during high school and early years of college. My girlfriend has always been around my circle of friends, which is why some of my bros have hooked up with her in the past. Why do you say now ex? I think he messed up. I think they hooked up with his current girlfriend. This isn't going where you think it might. You see, I literally have no problem with it. They're all just drunk hookups, and it happened years ago. And I didn't even have feelings for her back then, so I didn't care back then either. We've talked about it, and she assured me she only has eyes for me, and I completely believe her, and I literally don't worry about it at all. My question to you guys is, how do you think my bros feel about this? I've talked to them all, and they all hit me with the, as long as you're happy, bro, and ensure me that they don't think about her like that either. But if you were in their shoes, would you lose respect for me and my relationship because you and some other homies have slept with my girl? Again, I don't care either way, but I've just been curious about how they feel about it, view it, and feel like they aren't being completely honest with me. Thanks, bros. Appreciate the advice.
I wonder why it's so important to him how they view his relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder that. I think the primary thing should be how he views his relationship. And then, I mean, everyone has a past. Everyone does. Now, perhaps it's less than ideal that a lot of his buddies have carnal knowledge of his current girlfriend, and that's a tricky thing to maybe get over. But if he has a good relationship with her, who cares?
Yeah, you know what it is, man? Because you're right. It's like, look, I totally get it. Like, it's not, if you were drawing it up in like your fantasy, you wouldn't be like, oh, I want my girl to
That's
have
right.
like slept with 3 of my homies. You wouldn't
Right.
want that. But life is never what you write up.
That's
you know,
right.
everyone comes with something. And I think what you got a golem in you, dude. I'll call it a golem. We all got golems in us that just want to, you're happy right now. You're happy. You're in a good relationship. You got good friends. Everything's good. And you got this golem in you that wants to take away from your joy and wants to be like, but wait, no, it's not perfect. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. It's not wrong. It's all good. And we all have that golem, but you just got to ignore him, dude. Just tell him to shove off and fuck off, because I don't think it matters.
Do you find the golem is more prevalent in your life between the hours of 3 and 5 a.m.?
Interesting.
That's just me
You got a golem at that time?
at that time.
And he's trying to eat your joy. He's trying to tell you things are bad when they're not bad.
For sure.
Dude, I relate to that.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that. Those are the bad times.
I do get anxious at those hours. Like, I sleep bad a lot. I'm very anxious when I sleep.
Yeah.
Because the golem's trying to tell me shit's off when it's
right.
not off.
But that's right. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, I get I'll get the golem in the morning a lot sometimes.
Yeah,
Then I just walk it off.
that's cool.
Dude, a
Dude.
walk is huge, bro.
Walks are huge.
But it's hard to do that because if you're sleeping with your girlfriend and she hears you get up and she
Yeah.
wonders what's up, and if you have dogs and they start following you around and
Right.
at 3 a.m, there's a marching band going through your bedroom.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I being too personal about this?
No,
No,
dude.
but dude, I think,
I
I
love
think
it.
that's the deal. It's hard to do that.
I think, all our partners are pretty chill. I think you could just tell them, hey, bro, golem showed up. Got to go walk him off.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, don't walk your golem
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's true. That would be a good thing.
Well, I sometimes I tell her that whenever I'm feeling anxious, we have these little from our shoot when we did Big Rod and the Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
We were playing motorcycle guys, so I'll take the little dirt bike for a ride.
That was a great laugh, by the
Yeah.
way, when you guys were rolling
Oh,
around.
thank you.
I want to do another one of those.
That
Those
was
are-
really
it was-
funny.
it was
That
so
was
fun.
so funny.
I want to go to Sturgis.
Oh, good
How-
luck.
Howdy, partners.
Yeah, we
Cowboy.
missed Sturgis. It was
Dude.
double booking. That
Yeah.
would have been sick.
Are
That
you
was
Yellowstone guy? Do you like Yellowstone?
Of
Oh,
course.
Dude,
Every episode.
who's gonna look after Tate? Who's gonna look after Tate in the range?
That's what they're always talking about. I mean, yeah. I love that show.
I love it
Oh,
too.
God.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
so good. And new
When does
season's
season
coming
5?
out.
Yeah, when does season 5 come out?
November. No, there's
Oh.
a teaser at the VMAs. I didn't see it.
I
You saw it?
It wasn't enough. It did
No.
not give me nearly enough.
Who's your favorite character? Rip?
Beth.
Beth, dude. Nice.
Is
I
that
love Beth.
the gal who's in Flight? Is that his daughter?
Yes.
Nice.
And Rip. Beth and Rip.
Rip, yeah.
Yeah.
Which one's Rip?
Cole
Hauser?
Cole Hauser, yeah.
Oh, dude. He's so badass.
I mean, he's just a cool fucking dude.
Yes.
Dude, Jimmy grew on me.
Oh, yeah, I liked him too. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he did.
When he started, he became a man. Or
Yeah.
sorry, spoilers.
Oh, so, yeah.
But yeah, he's it's just, I could sense they're gonna have a good sort of heartwarming story
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, Brad, you ready for the next part?
Yeah, what are we doing?
You know what it is, dog.
Beefs and things of that nature?
Yeah, baby.
Okay, so what are we doing first tonight?
Beef.
Well, listen, I talked a little bit about my beef. My beef is like, the guy that accosted me in the parking lot of Cafe Lux today. That was my beef. of
On
the
La
day.
Cienega? Right
No,
there?
in the Palisades.
Oh, right, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, and and then feeling bad after, you know, like
Sure.
the whole thing, the whole experience. That was beefy.
It's hard not to,
Yeah.
I mean, you came into your personal space. That's
Yeah.
going to spike your adrenaline, no choice.
For sure.
Regardless of the circumstances that created it, it's hard to divorce from the immediacy of that and be like, dude.
But how
you're
would
in
you
my
word that as a beef? Because I don't feel like I was articulate in doing that.
I would say there was a wayward soul looking for peace and he has nowhere else to go, but he came to me in a moment where I couldn't give it to him, and his energy, which had been conditioned through years of neglect, forced him to force himself on me in a way that was aggressive and rude and off-putting, and I'm remorseful for what's happened to him, but I can't help but feel a little violated. So go in peace, brother, but my peace had to be fought for.
You are the Shakespeare of your day. That was so beautiful. I'm going to play that back over and over and over. That was amazing. Off the top of your head like that. That was amazing. By the way, I wanted
Our
to tell
peace
you.
had to be fought for after our encounter. I wanted
What's
a
that?
Slight rewrite. Never mind. Go.
Okay. I just want you to know that today Natasha Bedingfield came on and I thought of you the entire time.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I can't think of you. I can't hear that song without thinking about you.
Feel the rain on your skin. Yeah, I mean, to me, that song is you just picture people in a circle dancing.
I only picture you.
Oh, dude, no, bro.
I'm telling you.
I picture you.
No, because
We're wearing pastels.
All right, I'm sorry. I took
Ethan
away.
Hawke's out in Maine too. He's got an island out there.
He does?
Yeah, because there's like a little
didn't
chain
know
of
that.
islands, right?
Yeah, there are plenty. Yeah, there's a lot out there. Yeah.
When are we doing a vacation together?
Oh, I'd love that.
We should do that.
But you got to roll with all the Fullers.
Oh, I look forward to it.
Okay.
I want to watch you guys operate. It's a beautiful
fun.
thing.
It's fun.
Yeah. Chad, who's your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is with loud air conditioners.
What? Oh, louder. Yeah.
There's a heat wave going on.
Yeah,
I'm
for
trying to watch TV. I'm trying to watch movies. And these things are just loud as fuck.
Yeah.
And, I opt for the sound of I'll turn it off. I'll sit in the heat. My girlfriend, on the other hand, she's not as comfortable in the heat. So I'm trying to watch TV and these things just crank it. I don't even know what the decibels are, but they're through the roof. And they're really just sticking a stick in my craw. And I'm just gonna have to keep sunning
Right.
until it cools down, I guess.
Have you is your air conditioning unit a new one or is it an older one?
No, I don't have central air, so we got those loud ass things that
Right.
Go through the window and
Yeah.
it's just so loud.
Right. Sorry.
I had the speakers turned up to it goes up to 100. It's like at 95.
Right.
I'm like, what is Rip saying? Fuck. To read the subtitle.
Right.
I'm pissed.
Yeah, I get it.
Dude, my beef of the week is with rabies. There's no cure. I hate an incurable disease. So rabies, you just start foaming at the mouth and you lose your brain and then it's over, dude. And I just don't know how we haven't figured it out yet. I guess
Is that true?
there's no cure for rabies.
There's a vaccine for rabies.
That's true. You can get the prophylactic and not worry about it. But I had an incident when I lived in Costa Rica. I didn't get my rabies vaccine for whatever reason. And there was a dog with a crazy eye, like a rabies eye, that was barking at me on the street. And all the lokes were laughing at me. And I was swinging at it with my jacket. And I was like, get the fuck away from me. And then the dog scurried off, but it came close. And then the lokes told me that dog just has a crazy eye, doesn't have rabies. So they were just laughing
That's
at
good.
my fear. But yeah, I'd like us to find a cure for rabies.
I think that we can expand it that
And ALS.
all of our beefs is uncurable diseases.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's a universal beef.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like ALS and rabies, like
Yeah.
what?
Right.
Oh, dude.
Let's dedicate some fucking
I know.
big fucking effort to fixing those things.
I think they are, but we're not quite there yet. But I'm optimistic we'll get there.
And then is the thing, no, I think we will find a day where we cure everything.
Yeah, me too.
But will we ever cure the human condition?
No.
What about my hives?
You have
Are you
hives?
still hiving?
I've had hives all since June.
Where?
You know why, dude?
I took his ear tech and knocks him out.
What causes it?
I don't know.
I think it's probably stress, dude. You work hard.
I know what triggered it was the the sun in Hawaii. I was on a snorkeling boat and I got too much sun that day, and then I've had hives ever since.
That's horrible.
To be betrayed by the love of your life to the sun.
Yeah. I also got the booster a week before, but that's neither here nor there.
Right. That could be a political thing that we could get into, but we don't have to.
And the thing is with hives is like they never really know what the cause is, you know. So I went back to him, and he's like, "Yeah, if you still have them in a few months, we could do a blood test. We're not going to find anything." He's like, "It could be a number. They just don't know." And I just told him, I was like, "Yeah, the sun," and then I also got the booster. He's like, "Oh," they didn't say anything.
Right.
I got herpes, and that's incurable. And I think it's from the booster as well.
Oh, you got the booster.
I
right
got the
before?
booster,
You got
and
booster
then I got herpes.
Yeah.
You got the AstraZeneca.
Yeah, and I told the doc, I was like, they're like, "What have you been doing?" I was like, "Well, I have been having condomless sex, but also I got the booster," and they're like, "Ah."
It's AstraZeneca.
They were like,
There you go.
fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that
That's why
happened.
their stock plummeted.
It's all good. Shit happens.
Yeah. Sorry.
Herpes is way worse than myocarditis.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's bad. Brad, who's your baby of the week?
I might have two babes of the week. I mean, it's always Mrs. Fuller. It has to be because, that's my partner in life. And so we do everything together. Like today we went to the dentist. We just do it together. I mean, it's pathetic, but if we have appointments, we go together. That's just,
Is pathetic a synonym for the cutest thing I've ever heard?
It's the cutest thing you've ever heard. Yes.
What
So
is
there's
that? Sometimes I'll do something really cute. I'm like, God, that's pathetic. I'm like, what? Like,
Well, yeah, because everyone who listens to the pod is going to just say, well, it's so whatever.
no, they're gonna love it.
You think?
I mean, that's
I'm being vulnerable right now.
But it is very vulnerable to be
Yeah.
cute. But it's I find it very life affirming.
We do it.
I
Well,
want that.
for me, it is life affirming. And my other babe of the week is this guy George Nolfi, who's directing this movie. He's just inspiring me every day, and he works harder than anyone, and I'm having a blast.
Let's go.
Yeah. I had two. Is that all right?
Yeah,
Okay. I earned it.
do 5 or 6, bro. Keep going. Rip. Chadias.
My babe.
Yeah.
I got to go with my girlfriend too.
From the outside, just looking at social media,
Mm-hmm.
you guys really do seem deeply in love. I don't really want to.
It's a very special
Yeah,
connection.
I feel that.
Yeah. It's even from like the first month, I was like, this is profound.
No, I heard that in the grapevine. I heard
Yeah.
that, but then when I watch it, I see it.
Yeah,
I told you that.
You
It's
did. I didn't want to sell you out, so you know what kind of friend I am.
yeah. I was like,
Bro, that's weird. I think I said that to you too.
You did.
I was
You
like-
said just so you know, he said it early on. He
Yeah.
goes, "This is different."
yeah, I was like, Jordan.
That's what you
Bonner?
said.
No, yeah, it's it is very it's very profound. But she's just the best, because I think I get hard on myself when I get in bad moods,
Yeah.
because I just don't want to be a bummer to be around, and then with the show coming out, it's like it's been great, but it's it's stress. It's just
A
a
lot of
roller coaster.
emotions when that happens.
So many emotions,
Yeah,
and
that's a
I'm
lot.
just like there's mornings when I'm just like laying there like I want to die,
Right.
just in agony, so you're so stressed. And
Is
you
that the
feel
golem?
like-
Is that
what's
the
it-
golem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, and then there's days when you're on a high, and it's just always
Yep.
shifting. And,
Yep.
and but she like wrote me, like I came home from San Diego last night. She like wrote me a nice letter, just saying how she's like there for me and stuff. And it's amazing.
It's really an important thing to have someone who can nurture you
Yeah, and it's just
and knows
so-
how to nurture you.
Yeah, and I have a tough time.
Asking for it.
Yeah, or just sort of. I never really sort of sought it out, but then when you find someone who does that, it's just very. You just feel very makes you feel special, and it lets you know that how special they are.
And
Or
that's
she
life
is.
affirming.
It's life affirming, yeah.
Very much so.
But I came home, it was probably like 11:30. No, it was like midnight, and there's like a piece of paper like taped to the door, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" Because I was like, "What is this?" But it was very sweet and stuff, it
That's
was
so nice.
Yeah. But
Oh, I love that.
I was just like, oh shit, dude. You're reading, you're like, oh, okay, thank God.
But I love that she wrote it out by hand.
Is that
It's lovely.
yeah?
Right? She didn't text you.
It's so sweet.
She wrote it out by hand.
Yeah.
I gotta meet this woman.
I gotta return the favor. She wants to meet you.
I wanna meet her.
She saw that you followed her.
Yeah,
She's like,
I did
Brad
that.
followed. She like that. I think I meant a lot to her.
Oh, great.
So I got to write her a letter. Not that I want to, but
Do something
so,
unexpected.
Yeah, I got to.
That's nice.
You're right.
I gotta
good
take my own
advice.
advice. I haven't been doing that. But whatever.
You will. You will.
Yeah.
I got faith, brother. Dude, my babe of the week, not my GF, but girlfriend influenced. It's got to be Queen Elizabeth,
Fair enough.
who just departed us today.
Yep.
My girlfriend's a huge fan of The Crown. She got me into it. It very much frustrated me at first, and now I'm watching them grow and change. I know it's a different experience. It's cool. And then, especially Philip, he's really come around, that guy. I'm pretty amped on him now. I hated him those first couple seasons. We did promo for Netflix, and I was like, The Crown, fuck Philip. That guy sucks. Come on. And now I like him. He's a better man now.
Yeah,
And,
he's like The Crown, kind of a tough watch. That's on Netflix radio.
You did that?
Yeah. I always have to give a little fuck you to
That's okay.
everybody. Yeah,
That's
I'm
okay.
trying to keep it right sized. But yeah, I just look, 70 years. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and she wore it for 70 years.
Yep.
Now, do I think that the monarchy is completely superfluous and should be done away with, and it's just a symbol of a bygone era that gives us less than it takes? Absolutely. But that lady, she's got some metal. She's tough as hell, man.
Yeah.
Like, she fucking went through all the shit, and the show just makes you realize how stuck she is, because she can't be a person. She has to be a
Right.
symbol, which is like super dehumanizing, but she just took it on with that stiff upper lip and just wrote it out. And 96 years old. I mean, and just all the chaos she's been through. Like,
Yeah.
who's more visible than them? No one. And yeah, she just managed it with a lot of grace. So I got to give it up to you, Queen Elizabeth. You're a tough, tough lady, and we're sad you're gone. Good on you for.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay, cool, nice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's awesome.
Yeah, she's tough.
Yeah.
Brad, who's your legend of the week?
Well, you kind of stole my legend because you just spoke about her. So come back to me. Let me because I was going to go with her.
But you tell me, brother. What's your feelings on the crown, or on What's your feelings on
Well,
the queen?
what an incredible thing to manage, right? I mean, and to always elegantly, just always elegant. She always was on point, right? It's just, I haven't seen all of The Crown, right? And her family, it's tricky. We don't need to digress into all the crazy things that are going on, but tricky. But she just never faltered.
She was so steady in the storm,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And how do you can't be taught all that. That has to be in you. That has to be in your bones. And she was incredible, And so, what is he? It's Prince Charles, but what's his name now? What did they?
Oh, did he got stirred up with a new title?
I think it's King Charles III.
Yeah, I saw something that he wanted to pick something different because of the curse behind the name or something.
Oh, I don't know.
But
I mean, the media always had a good time with him, and he was a willing subject of a lot of, embarrassment and weird things happening and whatever. But there was never anything bad, Incredible.
She's a tank.
How old
Yeah.
is he?
He's got to be late 60s, early 70s, right? Because she was 96.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
So-
William's next in line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King William.
He feels very royal to me.
He does. I like all that
And
stuff.
Kate, they feel very royal to me,
Yeah.
and their kids. That all feels
Yeah.
right.
Have you met Meghan and
No.
Harry?
I don't think so.
No.
I haven't met Harry, but I don't think I met Meghan when she was an actress. I don't. Yeah. I know her first husband,
I know him too.
Oh,
Trevor.
Dude,
Yeah,
he's hilarious.
My tough guy character that I do in here, I go, "Hey, look, I'm the tough guy."
That's Trevor Eggleston.
Sort of based on him from a meeting we had with him. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's not that guy, but he just
No,
had
he's
this.
so
like,
sweet.
he had this like can-do attitude
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
just like incredibly infectious, and it just
Yeah.
stuck with me for a couple
Very
days.
charming guy.
He's like, that's what it is. Stoke.
I got it. I cracked the show. It's about Stoke.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, for sure.
I
and
love
then
that guy.
and then he was like, we're gonna have some Porsches and some chicks and bikinis, and it's gonna be, and then we're gonna party at a Benihana afterwards.
How come I'm learning about this now? When did this meeting happen?
You come
Like
on,
5 years
you
ago.
come on and pull her tits out. Dude, you came to the meeting wearing like track pants, like a
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Awesome.
Good guy.
Yeah.
He just comes in, he, like so much. He's just so like a big smile. He's just Stoke. Just, I love
That's
that guy.
awesome.
Yeah, my favorite meeting, I think.
Chad, who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is JFK. You probably can shed more light on this because you read about him, but I'm reading a Tip O'Neill's biography,
Mhm.
Speaker of the House, which
I like that.
it's a good sort of insight into politics in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and I guess I get up to 70s and 80s, but I'm not there yet. But he talks about JFK. How when he met JFK, he's like, this guy's never going to amount to anything. He's just a scrawny little kind of weasel. And then he built himself into, the charming man that he was. Sort of charming, intelligent, kind of strong man that he was. So I was really inspired, but I always like stories like that. You know, I always like hearing about people like Teddy Roosevelt's similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, both
and
born like kind of physically weak. Both had like more Kennedy with his back, but like maladies that got in the way.
Yeah.
And then both displayed incredible physical courage in critical moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like just hearing about people who, achieved great things, and they started from a, I mean, he had his
His dad's
family
like the
wealth
richest
and stuff,
bro, and
but in terms of like who they were as people, they built themselves into what they were, and I think
You say Teddy Roosevelt, FDR.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the greatest scene in Pearl Harbor is when he gets up out of that
Oh,
wheelchair.
right.
Tell me what's possible.
I love that scene. It's awesome.
And you were probably seeing early cuts of that, right?
I did see some early cuts on it, but yeah, I did.
When you're in there and they show that scene, do you just get up and you're like, that's fucking it?
yeah, that's awesome.
I would do
I
the
love
same
that
thing.
movie. Yeah.
My legend of the week, I had it ready and now I'm forgetting. You know what? I'm running it back to back. I just opened my phone and it's what popped up. It's Vin Diesel.
Do you see the photo?
Of course I saw the photo. That was amazing.
It's Vin.
And there were the cars were there too. Did you
Cars were
get
there?
did you get into the cars?
I didn't get I
Were you
saw
allowed
him,
to?
I know Mason and Jordana. I think they got in. They took photos with it.
That's
I
awesome.
didn't get a photo with it, which I woke up. I was like, oh, that's one thing I didn't do.
It looked like a beautiful wedding.
It was amazing.
You really did.
I teared up. The ceremony was they did a really beautiful job, and
That's nice.
yeah, they got me good. So
That's good.
yeah,
We want love to flourish.
it's nice to see.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is nice. It's life affirming.
for sure.
Would you die for one of your dogs?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
but only one of them.
Dude, I'm getting a dog soon.
What are you getting?
Golden.
Yeah,
Got
a golden doodle or a golden retriever?
Golden retriever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful dog.
That's going to be nice. Do they shed though?
Yes,
yeah.
a lot.
Oh yeah.
Bro.
That's why I would only urge you to consider doodling a
Yeah,
little.
doodle it,
I just
bro.
can't. I respect what you guys are saying. I hear you, and I think you're right, but I can't do it. I gotta go with. I gotta retrieve.
I want
Lots of
everyone
respect,
to play,
Dom.
but I
Lots of
want everyone to
respect.
play this back when he's complaining how many vacuum cleaners he's gone through with this dog, with Muffy. And
Lola's gonna be the name.
Lola?
Lola.
Lola. You've met my doodle.
Lola.
Hey, all right. Yeah. You have a great doodle.
I love my doodle.
Doodles are great.
He's hanging that out there a long time.
Oh, dude.
Give it to him. It's making me uncomfortable.
I really want to squid it.
I knew.
but
I
he
was
hates
wondering.
it. He
I
hates
was
it. He
wondering if
hates
you're
it.
gonna squid it.
So, but you've decided. Do you have do you know the breeder, or you're going to go to the
No,
pound, or what are you going to do?
I'd like to. There's an Instagram, Bunny's Buddies, that they rescued Goldens from
That's great.
Asia.
Yeah. Oh, Asia?
Yeah.
Why is there?
Because they're in like kill shelters. They're gonna be like eaten and
Oh.
stuff.
Eaten?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So they bring them over, and
That's tough.
Please do that and
Yeah.
bring in 3 or 4.
think
You
it's-
hate to hear about a golden retriever.
Yeah. Oh
getting
my
eaten.
God,
dude,
that's the
can you imagine
worst.
that? You're like, wow, this chicken
How can that
noodle's
happen?
amazing. What?
Oh my God.
Yeah, if you watch Lassie, but the versions that they produce over there, different movie.
really.
First act, he's on a kebab.
Oh. Is that you use that in your stand-up routine?
No, but
Oh.
no. But you have a joke about rescues, so this is a
Right.
turn for you.
Oh yeah. Well, you rescue a golden because it's all about the photo.
Of course.
You gotta have a good Christmas photo.
Yeah.
But golden.
There is
they're
no.
fine.
I mean, the golden puppy is the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you seen that thing?
You almost want to Shirley
whatever.
Temple it, keep it young.
Oh my God. Yeah. There's this video that keeps popping up on my Instagram where there's this kid, probably 3 or 4 years old, and like 10 golden puppies are just licking
Oh,
this kid.
yeah.
It's so cute.
They're just so happy, and they're just so I don't know. They're just the way they. If I'm ever down, you just think about a dog. You look at a dog, and
Yeah.
their whole thing is they just look at you like, why would they're like, I exist? Why would I be anything
Exactly.
other than happy?
We can learn a lot from them.
Yeah, it's true. I learned that from walks. You get so much presence from walks.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
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 Anyways,
I love it. Brad,
Yes, sir.
you got a quote of the week?
God, I'm so ill prepared. I don't have a quote of the week. Oh, shit.
It's okay. We
Forgot
can come
about
back
that.
to you.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's a lot of homework.
It is a
We
lot.
really,
of
I mean, we
work,
give you
know.
5 things.
Oh my God.
We'll have people on here, and I'm just like, they're like, why didn't you prep me? I'm like, I thought you'd not come.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys go ahead. I'll try and figure something out.
You going, Jay?
yeah, I think I got it right.
Baby.
I mean, yeah, I would love to go with an American Pie quote, but I think I used them all up.
Which
So-
one?
American Pie. Well, I could do tons. This is JFK. Those who I can't do his voice. He's like, how's it go? How's it
It's
go?
like, listen to me, America. No, that's not it.
Yeah,
Americans.
ask not what you can do for your country, but what they can do for you. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Those who dare to fail miserably can achieve greatly.
I'll do a quote.
The look on your no.
I think that just inspired a generation.
Yeah.
We're running it
dude.
back.
For sure.
Maybe I need to build up my.
I wonder if I should quote something from the Constitution.
That'd be huge.
Oh, dude, I don't think that's ever been done.
Really? I just want to read you guys this. I haven't found my quote, but I'm now searching my phone, and the headline is, "These quotes on the U.S. Constitution will get you fired up for federalism and freedom." Look, that's from Inc. magazine. Let's go. But I gotta find. Oh my God, it's We the People. You guys have heard that a million times.
No, I don't think I've ever heard it. Just sincerely.
Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
The glory of justice and the majesty of law are created not just by the Constitution, nor by the courts, nor by the officers of the law, nor by the lawyers, but by the men and women who constitute our society, who are the protectors of the law, as they are themselves protected by the law.
Mm.
Robert F. Kennedy.
Oh, he was the bulldog of the family.
Yeah,
He was the pugnacious one.
he was pugnacious. So I finally got a quote out. My God,
It's beautiful.
I was nervous. I hate coming ill prepared. I apologize for that.
You crushed it.
Mm.
Phrase of the week for getting after it.
Just think of who wrote the Constitution.
I don't even know if this is what they. So sorry.
Maybe this is I need to rephrase. Let's think of who wrote the Constitution.
That's your phrase for getting after it.
Yeah. If you want to party and you think of, Hamilton, you'll party hard.
All hail the queen.
That's a good one. I worked with the director a long time ago, McG.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Charlie's
yeah.
Angels.
He's the best guy, most fun guy. He used to say something. I don't want to fight City Hall. I need all heads going north and south. I love that quote.
Wait, what does it mean exactly?
He just wants to make sure everyone's feeling good. I don't want to fight City Hall. I just want all heads going north and south.
Oh, the head nod.
That's
Yes.
cool.
What a
Yeah.
beast.
He's a beast. The best.
Yeah, he did Terminator Salvation.
Yeah, he did.
Are you pumped for the new Avatar?
I would not say I'm pumped. I'm open-minded. I will definitely go see it. I loved Avatar when I saw it. I was pumped for Maverick. That's something I was pumped for.
Yeah, is that the high water mark now
Yeah,
for the high
for
point?
everything. But like yesterday or in the afternoon, I was watching T2, and that's one of the greatest movies of all time for sure.
It's incredible.
and it holds up, and it's just awesome in every way.
Bay has been liking our posts here and there on Instagram.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Michael Bay has?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I was like, is Brad behind this?
I'm not behind it.
Is this full on Bay?
I'm not behind it.
Oh,
I'm not.
Do you think we'd get along?
Oh, he's the best. There's no one better to go out to dinner with. And every time I go out to dinner with him, we have such a good time. He's so fun. Bay, but
Is he the best you've ever seen at that
at action?
component?
Oh,
Yeah.
without doubt.
And like the pyrotechnics of it.
Pyrotechnics, and also he has this incredible. I mean, if you watch the Transformers movies, he's able in his head to construct a shot, knowing exactly where the robots are going to be, but when you're doing the shot, they're not there, and he can somehow see that in a way that I don't think a lot of people can, and that's why it feels so seamless, because he has the imagination to do it. Bay will break out Hot Wheels and show you what a sequence is going to be like. And I just always, I can't get past the fact that he still has Hot
That's
Wheels.
hilarious.
You gotta film that.
Yeah,
That's like historically significant.
he does it all the time.
I want to see that.
Well, next time he's here, we can go out to dinner. He loves it. So fun to go out to dinner with. We're having fun, me and Bay.
Yeah, you guys are back together now.
We're back
right?
together, yeah.
So how's that? Is that like is it like getting back together with a gal after like a couple
No.
years off?
No, because we never broke up. We've always
Right.
been friends.
Just
So,
doing your own thing.
Yeah, so he was doing his thing for a year and a half. For 2 years, I was doing my thing, and now we're back. It feels very natural.
Did you mark like change in both of you, like sensibility wise or temperament or any of that?
Nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing.
That's cool.
We work the same way together, and it's fun. It's just fun.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I've always had fun with him.
Brad, we love you. Thank you so much for
Not
coming.
as much as I love you. It's great. I love it when you guys call.
Thanks for coming.
Come in anytime.
If you need advice, these guys are real.